Crave Lab, why restaurant steak tastes better than yours. Same cut, sometimes cheaper, and it still comes out better than what you make at home. Here's the actual reason, and it has nothing to do with a professional kitchen. Mistake 1. Cooking it cold. Restaurants pull steak from the fridge 30 to 40 minutes before cooking. A cold steak has a huge temperature gradient between the surface and the center. By the time the center hits medium rare, the outer half-inch is overcooked. A room temperature steak cooks far more evenly, edge to edge. Mistake 2. Not enough heat. Home stoves top out around the same power as a restaurant range on its lowest setting. Restaurants sear steak at temperatures your home pan often can't reach, 600 degrees or more. That extreme heat creates the Maillard reaction fast, building a deep brown crust before the inside overcooks. Most home cooks use medium heat because they're afraid of burning it. That fear is costing you the crust. The fix at home: get your pan screaming hot before the steak touches it. Cast iron or stainless, never non-stick for this. You should hear an aggressive sizzle the instant it hits the pan. If it's quiet, the pan isn't hot enough. Mistake 3, and this is the big one: not resting the meat. When steak cooks, the muscle fibers contract and push juices toward the center. Cut into it immediately and all that juice runs out onto the cutting board, not into your mouth. Resting for 5 to 10 minutes lets the fibers relax and reabsorb the juices. Restaurants build this rest time into their plating process. Most home cooks cut immediately because they're hungry and the steak looks done. Here's the number that matters. A steak cut immediately after cooking loses up to 40% more juice than one that's rested properly. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between a steak that's juicy all the way through and one that's dry by the third bite. Restaurants also finish steak with a butter baste, tilting the pan, spooning hot butter with garlic and thyme over the steak in the final minute of cooking. This adds a layer of fat-carried flavor that a plain seared steak never gets. It takes 30 extra seconds and most home cooks skip it entirely. Put it together: room temperature meat, screaming hot pan, a butter baste in the final minute, and a full rest before cutting. None of that requires professional equipment. None of it costs extra money. It requires patience in 3 specific places most people rush through. The next time you cook steak at home, pull it out 30 minutes early, get the pan hotter than you think you need, baste it with butter at the end, and let it rest before you cut. Same steak, same kitchen, completely different result. Follow Crave Lab, food worth the calories. Link in bio. There's a myth that flipping steak only once gives a better crust. Food scientists have actually tested this. Flipping every 15 to 30 seconds cooks the steak faster and more evenly on both sides, because each side never has time to overheat while the other side cooks. Restaurants use frequent flipping specifically because it's faster and more consistent, not the one flip method most home cooks think is correct. Salt timing matters more than people realize too. Salting at least 40 minutes before cooking, or right before it hits the pan, both work. Salting in between, 10 to 20 minutes before, is the worst option. That's enough time to draw moisture to the surface, but not enough time for the salt to reabsorb back in, leaving you with a wet surface that won't sear properly. Salt early or salt immediately. Never salt in the middle.